Easter is coming and it's time to plan your bakes. May I present to you an amazing Easter brioche crown, also known as la Couronne de Pâques, with dollops of baked custard and this festive decor. This recipe is from Fou de Pâtisserie magazine, which publishes recipes from famous bakeries in France and around the world. Let's get into it and test it together. Day 1. Dough and custard. First, I'm making the dough and the custard the day before. Most brioche doughs benefit from an overnight fermentation in the fridge. It helps with flavor and crumb structure. Now, I'm doubling the recipe from the magazine because the small quantities they provided are really difficult to work with in a stand mixer. I'm taking 20 grams of milk, 5 grams instant yeast, 4 large eggs or 220 grams, 8 grams salt, 40 grams granulated sugar, 400 grams all-purpose flour, 200 grams unsalted butter. Just keep the butter on the counter until you need it, it will get to the right consistency. Then I take 4 lemons, 4 oranges or tangerines, or frankly you can use any citrus you like here. Now, add the milk, yeast, eggs, salt, sugar and flour, so basically everything except the zest and butter, into the bowl of your stand mixer. Start kneading with the dough hook on a slow speed around 1 to 1.5. So here I had to make a change to the recipe. I noticed the dough was too dry. See how it quickly came together and wrapped around the hook? That tells me I need to add more liquid, so I've added more milk. First, 20 grams and then another 20 grams, so 40 grams extra in total until my dough became soft and elastic and started sticking to the walls of the bowl. Here's the picture of the dough from the magazine. I was just going for the same consistency. This was expected because Canadian flour, that's where I live, is stronger and absorbs more liquid than a typical European flour. So I usually always adjust the liquid when I use European recipes. Here's how the dough looks after around 4 to 5 minutes, and in about 7 to 8 minutes it started pulling away from the walls of the bowl, so it was time to add the zest and butter. Add all the zest at once and start adding the butter slowly, piece by piece, while the dough keeps kneading. You'll see that the dough will become all soft and sticky again. This is fine, just wait until you've added all the butter and the dough collects around the hook again. It will actually stop sticking to the walls. Keep checking the temperature. You don't want to go over 25°C because the dough will start fermenting prematurely and the gluten will start breaking down instead of actually developing. If the temperature is rising too fast, stick the bowl with the dough and the dough hook into the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes to cool down. Then continue kneading. Now, the dough finally collected around the hook and we're ready to let it proof. See how soft and shiny it is? It is a bit sticky, but nothing crazy. Put it in a greased bowl, let it proof at room temperature for 1 hour, and then let it proof in the fridge for at least 12 hours, up to 24. Moving on to the custard. The recipe is pretty standard. I didn't double it because I could see it would be enough for 2 crowns. I'm taking 375 grams of whole milk, 90 grams of sugar, 80 grams of egg yolks, or 5, which will be a bit over, but it's fine, and 30 grams of cornstarch. Whisk the egg yolks and sugar in a large bowl, and remember to start right after you combine them, or the sugar will burn the egg yolks. Then add the cornstarch and mix until there are no lumps. Bring the milk to the boil, pour a bit of hot milk into the egg yolk mixture, then pour it all back into the milk, and cook on a medium heat until it starts bubbling. Make sure you're constantly stirring with enough force to prevent lumps or to break any that form against the sides of the pan. Once the cream is bubbling, cook for another minute, stirring actively, and then take it off the heat. Pour it into a shallow dish, stir it a little until it cools down slightly, and cover with cling film in contact and keep in the fridge until the next day. Day 2. Shaping and baking. Let's take our dough out of the fridge. See how much it's risen? Since I doubled the recipe, I'll make 2 crowns and decorate them differently to test something. First, let's divide the dough into 2 even pieces. Now we need to shape it. It's sort of shaped like a baguette. Flatten it into a rectangle and then start rolling it, pressing the edge against the bottom piece of the dough as you go. You want to seal it at the end and have a nice tight log. This way, you're creating tension on the surface, which will help your crown rise properly and become nice and tall. Do the same with both pieces and let them rest, completely covered with some cling film, for about an hour. After that, roll each one into a 60 cm log and shape it into a circle. Repeat with the other piece and place them on a tray with some parchment paper. I was planning to use one tray, but it was too small, so I had to switch to two. Proof them in a warm and humid place, like a closed oven with a tray of hot water, for about 2 to 3 hours. Decoration time. Before we start with the decor, preheat the oven to 375 F or 190 C. Now, let's get all our decor ready. I've got chocolate eggs for one crown, that's my experiment, and sliced almonds and pearl sugar for the other, which is the original way to decorate it. And we've got the pastry cream for both. I'll also need an ice cream scoop to make the indentations for the pastry cream. Now this is how the decoration process looks in the magazine. Now I'm just making a quick egg wash with one egg yolk, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of whipping cream. I'm brushing it all over the bread, then making the indentations, filling them with some cream, make sure it goes fairly deep, and sprinkling the decor on top. So I'll have one decorated with almonds and pearl sugar and the other with eggs and pearl sugar. I do not know how these eggs will behave in the oven, it's pure experiment. Let's see what happens. Bake the crowns for about 25 minutes, but every oven is different, so look for a dark golden brown color and an internal temperature around 93 to 95 C. You might need to adjust the temperature if it browns too fast or stays pale for too long. And we are finally ready for the review. I think it looks great, very festive and bright. The eggs didn't really work though, as most of them fell off the crown and or burnt. So I'll just add a few extras here, and I'd actually recommend doing this instead of baking them in. Now, let's cut one open and see the crumb. It's extremely soft and flavorful thanks to the zest and the overnight fermentation. I'd say you could probably even use less zest if you're not into very strong flavors, but I loved it. I think it's a great option for an Easter feast. You can place some actual eggs in the center and it'll become your centerpiece or showstopper. I'll definitely be making this bread again. This recipe has absolutely passed the test. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.